All right. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Veterans Day. Thanks to all who have served for their sacrifice and service. My name is Phyllis Newbill. I'm the Associate Director for Educational Networks in CENI, the Center for Educational Networks and Impacts within ICAT. A couple of housekeeping things this morning. We are filming this morning, so in 360, so your image is currently being presented to the world and will exist on the internet afterwards, so behave accordingly. There are donuts and coffee over here, so I hope you'll enjoy those. I'm going to send the sign-in sheet around. We use the sign-in sheet to justify donuts and coffee, so make sure you do sign in for us. If you have questions this morning, when you have questions, let me get to you with a mic so our friends online can hear what you're saying. And finally, if you're here for PDN credit, for Professional Development Network credit, if you're a faculty member, make sure you check in with me and so that I can give you your 100% first thing this morning. Couple of announcements. We have a thing tomorrow. What thing is it? The Virginia Tech Science Festival is tomorrow, and that is at Moss Art Center, at Newman Library, and on Torgerson Bridge. The rain will finish, it will be dry and lovely, a little chilly, so wear an extra layer. But we have over 50 different exhibitors sharing amazing scientific and artistic and all the things about the university. We're sharing all those things. So bring your friends, bring kids, bring whoever would like to be there, and we'll see you there. Okay, this morning, we have Dennis Grachinen and his team, and we're talking about excursions in extended reality and cybersecurity, and I'm going to let Dennis explain all of that to you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dennis Grachinen. I am an associate professor at the Department of Computer Science here at Virginia Tech. And
hi, good morning. This is Juwon Park. I'm a master's student in computer science working with Dr. Grachinen.
Thank you. Muhammad Azab from Virginia Military Institute. I'm an assistant professor in the computer science department.
all right, so the question is why extended reality and cybersecurity? Well, if you just start and talking about what extended reality provides in terms of various modalities of immersive interaction using immersive technologies, cybersecurity is addressing threats that we are all facing given the proliferation network, computer systems, and opportunities to attack them and create problems. So therefore, what we are trying to do is to bring those two things together. And it started actually during my sabbatical 2020-21, where part of the sabbatical was spent collaborating with Virginia Military Institute, and that's how Mohammed and I started collaborating with my emphasis on extended reality, Internet of Things, and smart system, his emphasis on 5G and network and cybersecurity and also IoT, and we had enough overlapping interests to start thinking, okay, how we can actually bring it together. So when you think about cybersecurity and extended reality, you can look at it from two perspectives. First of all, what are the problems or how we can attack extended reality systems? And certainly there is a lot of opportunity, if we can call it that way, that can be used. For example, if you're using HoloLens, you are using PIN code that you need to enter in order to start using HoloLens. If you have a good camera tracking, you know orientation of the head, you know position of that pin entry tab, you can actually hack and figure out what the pin is. There are certainly many other examples how we can attack extended reality system. However, what we decided to do, at least in this iteration, to focus on extended reality as let's say, as an environment, as a tool, as a medium to promote cybersecurity education and workforce development. And we did it with emphasis on undergraduate student and high school students, and actually trickled down all the way to middle school students. Mohammed will tell you more about that. So here are some of the reasons why extended reality in general can help. And now the challenge was how to find some good use cases that we can demonstrate utility of combining extended reality and cybersecurity education. So why the title Excursion? Well, because we pretty soon discovered that there are many opportunities, from literally feeding a calf with milk when first couple of days when calf was born, to controlling quantum key exchange in low Earth orbiting satellites networks. And in between, you have things such as workforce development, 5G networks, voice-based social networks, to name a few examples of that. So from those kind of excursions in problem space and identifying some nice use cases, we actually went further to see, okay, can we not only work on that, enjoy collaboration, but can we also get some funding? So here are some current fundings that Mohammed and I are working together so Commonwealth Cyber Security Initiative. We have 5 funded projects with the titles that range from artificial intelligence to dairy farm to satellite communication. On top of that, we also have 2 Department of Defense SciDef grants through Virginia Military Institute. And I would be remiss if I don't mention ICAT and support that for sabbatical, which was my research leave augmentation fund, and also extended reality for distance learning grant together with Todd Ogg. So I guess at this point, Chuwon can say a little bit more about the use case that we are going to demonstrate today, how to provide something that is tangible, something that is portable, something that illustrates most of the basic cybersecurity concept, and do it in using extended reality as one of the interfaces.
So this is the IoT box that we created with VMI cadets, and that's the physical IoT box, and that's the virtual environment. That's the digital twin kind of concept. So throughout this project, I learned how to create like a virtual environment of the actual like physical device, and like how to like integrate those to like. And that's the demonstration of me doing in the virtual environment. So I'm actually plugging the cord to that plug and then turning on and off the light bulb. It actually works from virtual environment and also in the physical environment.
Thank you. Okay, so the story started with us trying to build a tool, and this tool was mainly for cybersecurity education. That's one of the first initiatives that started with our collaborative project, sponsored by CCI. And then once we started to do that, we discovered that we can actually do much more than this. It's a very interesting topic. It's a very hot topic, and students moving from middle schoolers to high school to cadets to VGT students to graduate students are deeply involved in IoT cybersecurity tasks or problems or challenges trying to solve these things. So we started to, okay, let's group everything together and create a test bed that can be used for cybersecurity research, experimentations, and as an educational tool as well. At this time, we were aiming to build just one box. And once we started, we wanted to experiment more with a deep integration with extended reality. First of all, it will be much more easier, portable, scalable. The digital twin concept was the main idea in here, where you will have something in the virtual reality, as Chuan showed in the video. Whatever you are doing in the VR is actually implemented in the real world at the same time, mapped to one of these IoT boxes. And then we extended the support by additional funding, and we started to use it for workforce development. And we started to attract high school students that you can see here in this picture, working with the cadets and the Virginia Tech graduate students, trying to add more to the box and add more boxes to the box set. At this time, we had only one box. The whole project was built on one box. However, with help with the high school students, you can actually see that this is one of the high school students' boxes. It still have his name on it. we had now 4 boxes. So they started working with this, shadowing cadets. During the process, they learned a lot of things. Imagine a high school student working with different programming languages, configuring IoT devices from scratch. They use boards, embedded systems connected with sensors, actuators, and they build their own IoT devices. So this box has commercial products that mimics what you will find in many smart homes. Many of our modern smart homes, like temperature sensors sensing the weather conditions inside the house. Based on that, your AC will be controlled and managed. You have fans inside the box to mimic this feature, speakers, light bulbs, smart outlets, all that enclosed in one space, expanded in the virtual reality, so you can live the experience, you can manipulate it any way you like, and you can also use internal devices hosted in a Raspberry Pi to launch attacks and use different defense tools. So the whole experience is emulated and simulated at this time, and it was very successful. From that point, we started to test the scenario in different environment. This is an ROTC, junior ROTC event in Arlington, where the box was being used as a use case. We would like to get feedback from the audience, and so far, that was actually a very positive feedback. That was the goal at this point. However, with more funding sources, we started to add things out of the ordinary, cutting-edge technology to the same framework. As Dennis mentioned, we have 5G integration, software-defined radio devices integrated with the box. So the box is a use case, is a tool, an end user, to a network that we use right now. More opportunities for in-depth cybersecurity experimentations, more opportunities for us to use this tool for research and for education as well. Now, with the last accepted grant, we are gonna use this box as a base for quantum computing, key exchange, and also satellite communications. So I think it was a good seed, and it expanded over time, and it facilitated lots of cooperation between us, VMI, Virginia Tech. Now there is a large number of researchers, young researchers, junior researchers, and to-be researchers working together. They have weekly meetings, full-time contact, and the outcome so far, based on the feedback from our partners from private and public sectors, is amazing. People are having opportunities for internships, for jobs, because they added to their CVs unique skills and expertise that was not so easy to attain before. So the lessons learned from this is more collaborations means innovative ideas, more opportunities. We need to focus on multidisciplinary work, where you go outside of your discipline, pure cybersecurity, learn more about other things, extended reality. I think I learned a lot by this integration so far, and I see how powerful this tool in educational context. Also, by working with agriculture professors in a simple visit, that led to a funded grant, and now we are trying to secure the cow. Which is, by the way, a very interesting thing, because the farms are very automated beyond what we expect, and security is a major problem that needs to be covered. So multiple examples from infrastructure security all the way to workforce development. It is the outcome of multidisciplinary and collaborative work. So to conclude, the team is large, actually, and that's good. We are getting more and more students and researchers added to the team. We have Dennis, we have Chuan, we have Ken, we have more graduate students, Nikita, Shiva, and Sweta. We also have undergraduate students from VMI and cadets. I don't want to forget anyone, Sheila, Millie.
If I can just add, sorry. I guess one thing, if you're seeing David Jones on both Virginia Tech and Virginia Military Institute, that's not a mistake. So David is a researcher at VMI, and he decided to pursue PhD at Virginia Tech, so he's now first semester PhD student. And he already found another topic that we are going to explore, and that is ADHD and cybersecurity, and how to identify and protect from cybersecurity attacks that are specific for now, to specifically target neurodiverse users.
I think that.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you for your attention. And before we finish, just a reminder: we also have demo at the end if you want to try it. And also, we will be at the Virginia Tech Science Festival tomorrow. It's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and we will be at the Torgerson Bridge. So, shout out to Phyllis and her effort. Thank you again.
Thank you, team. So we do have time for questions this morning. And can you tell us about what is over here? Can we start with that?
Okay, so what we have here is that IoT box, which has a number of sensors and devices inside. Actually, perhaps, Mohammed, you should probably better if you talk about that.
Okay, so this is one of the 4 boxes that was developed so far. As I mentioned, there are sensors and smart equipments inside, starting from commercial things that you can find in any store, Google Home, Alexas, some smart outlets from known different manufacturers. And also, you will find that custom-made, handmade sensors that was built by the high school students, working all together in a homogeneous environment and controlled by one entry. So you can control everything in here by multiple ways, either by talking to the devices itself, like your modern home, or through the platform that Chuan and the VMI cadets are working together to build. As I mentioned, you can just play with it. You can also use it for cybersecurity experimentations, because there is built-in attack hosts here that is built for researchers to use to attack the devices inside the box. It is isolated. Everything happens inside the box. It stays inside. There is no risk to the outside network. However, you imagine what you can learn about just by doing this, about what can happen in your actual environment at home.
So just to illustrate how you can actually go outside the box, so one of the exercises that we have, at least in the development, should be finished, is to, you can, because there is both Google Home and Amazon Alexa device here, so we can add audio transducer here and use that actually as a way to have audio attack to inside the home. We can also do it through extended reality, and this indeed simulates quite a lot from smart home, because technology here is fairly similar to what we use for Virginia Tech smart house, future house. So that's getting more and more standardized, and therefore a more and more how should I put it, target to various attacks. Thank you.
Great. What questions do we have in the room? And also, if you're online, I hope you'll use our questions link. Just type those in, and we'll get them and send them out to the world. I'll come back to you. Let me go to the other side of you.
So I saw that in your demo video, when you were interacting with the virtual box, it was in a sort of different place in the room from where the physical box was. Yeah. And I was just wondering if you have plans to sort of merge the two, so you could be interacting with the virtual box in the physical box's location.
Yeah, well, certainly we started with Oculus Quest, keep in mind this is high school students, so we want to have, but I think just recently through VMI we acquired Oculus Quest Pro with that combined virtual reality, mixed reality capability in which we can actually synchronize that. In addition to that, we are now working or planning to, whenever we find time after the end of semester, to create a network of those IoT boxes. This IoT box is at Virginia Tech. There are at least 3 more at VMI. Putting them together and explore them in the same environment, virtual extended reality environment, as well as trying to be synced with the physical component that is present.
Okay, Ben.
Well, actually, that was kind of the question I was thinking about, and really maybe extending it to the VR aspect. Can you describe more about what that brings to it? The extended reality, I completely get. The mixed reality makes a lot of sense, but the VR, I'm interested to know more of why incorporating that?
Well, okay, so a couple of things again. First of all, low-hanging fruit for students. And second, for virtual reality, I mean, think about various points of entry to this system. You have in the schools when you have physical system, but what if you are, let's say, homeschool or you're home with COVID? Using such a device will actually allow you to conduct exercises, and at the same time, in school they can observe outcome on an actual physical device. In virtual reality, we have actually live video feeds, so we can, even in virtual reality, we can get image what is going on with the actual physical device. So again, this was one of the modalities of use that we planned, that we started with, because again, the easiest in terms of technology and accessibility.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Chelsea. My question's for Juwan. I was just wondering what has surprised you most by working on this project and what you've learned.
Yeah, what I learned most is working with the actual physical box, like how to communicate with the virtual environment and the actual physical box, like using networks, like MQTT and those kind of stuffs. Yeah, that was the most interesting part for me.
So many of our researchers who present at Playdates talk about their process and working across disciplines. Can you all speak as a team about your disciplines and how you have worked those together, and if there were challenges and celebrations in that process?
Ooh. Well, it's different starting each time, but let me talk about one of the very interesting events that happened and that led to a couple of grants after that, which is the Cyber Field Day invited by CCI and Professor Susan. She just created a day where people from cybersecurity perspective talk to agriculture professors so we can find a common ground where we can collaborate. It was an idea out of the box, but that led to one of our grants, the security of the farm, the dairy farm project. And when we started discussion with the professors in agriculture, they didn't see that there is a need for security. Who's going to hack my cow? That was the term they used at this time. But when we started to exchange ideas and about potential attacks that can happen, we started to see, you know what, yeah, there is a great danger here we need to take care of. And then by visiting the farm, by visiting the place, we started to learn more, started to talk more, and a grant came out of this. And now another grant came out of this, talking to professors working in water security from a policy point of view. So collaborations happens by discussions, just cross the bridge.
Sorry. Sorry, I just remember an anecdote with Gonzalo that he never actually used HoloLens 2, and he came to my office and he was playing Robot Raids. Those of you who use HoloLens 2, you know that game. And he was so excited that he asked me to record him as he's punching in the empty space, and he actually used that video as a recruiting tool to get the 2 undergraduate students from College of Agriculture to help him develop requirements that we are going to use for extended reality application.
Other questions? Do we have any online? Okay, I think because of our fabulous audience and our wonderful day of weather that we're having today, I think we will end a little early. Enjoy some, and you've got your new demo, right?
Yeah, so anyone who interested
Yes.
can come here and try that.
So please come up and see the demo. We'll be here next week also, Imagination Lab. Did I get that? What? Imagine Lab, excuse me, I messed it up. Next week, Imagine Lab will be here for our play date, same time, same place. It can be your very last thing before you head out for Thanksgiving break. It'll be a great way to get it started. Thank you.
Thank you.